So most people in here probably have no desire to learn about the Indian culture, but while I was researching, I found that it was very interesting and very diverse. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, my family and I took our monthly trip to New York City, and when I was in the city, I ran into a couple of Indian people, and I felt very uncomfortable, and there was a smell and odor, and it just wasn't very pleasant, so I felt it was just a really uncomfortable situation for me. So that's why I chose to learn about the Indian culture. I wanted to learn more, and I feel like I was never really educated on it, and so I shouldn't have these stereotypes against them, because I don't know anything about them. So New York City is actually where a lot of Indians immigrated to, and so the employment they have in New York City is from like engineering jobs to working into hotels and banks and the jewelry company. When you're in the city and you look on the side and you see the newspaper stands, a lot of Indian people own the newspaper stands and the local Indian restaurants around town. A big part that a lot of Indians work in is the taxi industry. A lot of immigrant men from India, particularly from Punjab, which is also known as the Five Rivers, is a geological region between Pakistan and India. Statistics show that in 1992, the Taxi and Limousine Commission of New York City reported 43% of the workers were Indians and Pakistans. In 1999 to 2000, that figure went up to 60%. Another reason why a lot of Indians immigrated to New York was because a lot of their family was there, and they wanted to be around their families. So these immigrants who chose to live right next to their relatives. A lot of Indians ended up moving into the white suburbs in Queens, which is in New York City. And they now have Little India, which is along 74th Street in Jackson Heights, Queens. And if you're ever in New York City and you want to go to the Sanskriti, it's an institute for Indian culture in New York City that is dedicated to children in the New York area. Sanskriti installs students with deep appreciation of India's heritage, from history to literature to art to India's dance, music, and traditional clothing that they wear. I didn't personally go there, but I learned about a lot of the traditional clothing and dancing and music that they have. First, the clothing they have, the dohita kurta, is what men wear, and it's a cloth that's about 5 yards long, and it wraps around their waist to their legs. A kurta is what, I don't know if you've ever seen them, they're like those long shirts that both like men and women wear, and it goes like right up to the knee. A sari is like those really pretty dresses that have all sequins and embroidery on them. A lot of women wear those. And a turban is just what the men wear wrapped around their head. Music is very important in the Indian life. Hindustani Gharanas is a classical Hindustani music. And also popular is the Indian film music, like Bollywood. And if anyone's ever seen Slumdog Millionaire, they play the song, which is right. That's it. And it's called J-Ho. It's a cool song. It's on my iTunes now. Okay. There it is. Cool. Little song. You guys can go download it. Okay. And they also have the second generation of Indian American. Oh.
It could be background music.
Yeah, that's all that.
I mean, yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do a little of that. Okay, and so they also live the second generation, so a lot of Indian Americans have a remix music, which contains the indie film music with American rap, reggae, jungle, and techno. Another big thing that Indian people brought to America was yoga. They provide yoga all around town, so it's very popular here. It's a traditional physical and mental disciplines that originated in India. India is a very diverse country, and people practice different religions and follow different customs. They also speak different languages in order to communicate with one another. There are about 18 major languages in over 1,600 regions, and Hindu is the official language. And most people actually don't really speak this. A lot of people speak English in India, ironic. And it states, and the states in India have their own respective religion and dialects. And some other major Indian languages in India are Hindu, English, Kashmiri, Rajasthani, and several more. So they're very big in India about respect. So when so they're really big on respect. And so when they're in a big crowded area, the kids know when it's appropriate to speak. They have to be told when they're allowed to speak, and you're not allowed to intrude on any conversations. And parents shouldn't punish their children in public. They should go do it in a private area. And you shouldn't talk about your personal life to a lot of people because they think that's not really appropriate. Religion is very big in India, and Hinduism is the main religion in India. There's 3 lords that rule the world. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the preserver, and Shiva is the destroyer. Many Indian families live by the 4 stages, and it's Brahmacharya. Okay, these are really difficult words, but we're going to get through them. Brahmacharya, it's the student life. So you're supposed to, this is when your whole learning stage begins. Grihastha Ashma is the family life. Then Prashta is retirement. And Sannyasa is a preparation for salvation. And some basic family values that a lot of Indian families live by. And a lot of the second generations that move to America still go by these values is to respect your elders, anyone who's older than you. It could be your older sister, and you have to give them your full attention and respect. Take care of your parents in old age. Respect your guru, or your spiritual teacher, and contribute to society and humankind through selfless service, and pass on your cultural, spiritual, and ancient history. So when you grow up, pass it on to your family. Thank you for listening to my speech on Indian culture. And if you were wondering what Jai-Ho means, it means being victorious. And I believe after researching and hearing the great things about the Indian culture, I no longer have those stereotypes against them. And I think that they were very victorious in America, the Jai-Ho, being victorious. So thank you for listening. Thanks.